अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथा कमलनयना हे माधवा अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथा कमलनयना हे माधवा करुणासागर कालिङ्गमर्दन करुणासागर कालिङ्गमर्दन हे दया सिन्धु कृष्णा हे दया सिन्धु अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथा कमलनयना हे माधवा करुणासागर कालिङ्गमर्दन हे दया सिन्धु कृष्णा हे दया सिन्धु अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वेश्वर हे नारायण विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वेश्वर हे नारायण भवभयहरण दीनोद्धरण भवभयहरण दीनोद्धरण हे कृपा सिन्धु कृष्णा हे कृपा सिन्धु विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वेश्वर हे नारायण भवभयहरण दीनोद्धरण हे कृपा सिन्धु कृष्णा हे कृपा सिन्धु अनन्तरूपानन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण अनन्तशयना हे जगन्नाथा कमलनयना हे माधवा करुणासागर कालिङ्गमर्दन हे दया सिन्धु कृष्णा हे दया सिन्धु विश्वरूपा विश्वाधारा विश्वेश्वर हे नारायण भवभयहरण दीनोद्धरण हे कृपा सिन्धु कृष्णा हे कृपा सिन्धु अनन्तरूपा अनन्तनामा आदिमूला नारायण आदिमूला नारायण
Hari Om. Today's Aarti Seva will be by Sri Purandar Sharma.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाए शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए आप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बारिकी तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Little more sound. Now it is fine. Hari Om. Shall we start? Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। Hari Om. So yesterday we started the topic of yoga in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We understood what is the meaning of the word yoga, or rather what are the different meanings that come out of the same word yoga. We also understood that this yoga which is referred to in Bhagavad Gita is not talking about yoga, what we call as yogasana, etc., which is part of Ashtanga Yoga. That is not what is mentioned here. We also said that this yoga is different from the darshana philosophy, which is yoga darshana, Sankhya darshana, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. This is not that yoga darshana also. Yoga means what? We said yoga has two meanings mainly. One is union, because it comes from dhatu yuj. Yuj means to join, to unite. So yoga means union. Union with what? Union with the Supreme, which is my own self. So yoga word talks about that final union with my own self. Now please see this also very interesting thing, okay? You can join two things which are different. Okay, so one wire is there, another wire is there. You can join these two wires. Two different things can be joined, but they cannot be united. The technical meaning of union means two things joined together to become one. Correct? And how much ever we try to join two things, they will remain two things only. Unless it is one thing which is misunderstood to be two. If it is same thing which is misunderstood to be two, then on realizing that there is only one thing, that is what is called as union. So technically we are not saying that yoga means I will be united with the Supreme, means what? I with this body will go and will merge. No, that is not what we are referring to. We are referring to this union means what? To understand that there is only one thing. There is only Supreme Reality. That is the Self. That is Ishvara. That is the world. There is no difference. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all three are that Supreme Reality alone. This final union is called as yoga. Second meaning, yujjate anena, that by which we come to this realization, or that by which we come to this union, that path, that means also can be called as yoga. And therefore we have all these different yogas in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Every chapter is named one yoga, no? Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Sankhya Yoga. Why all these different yogas? Different paths to reach that ultimate union. So the path also is called as yoga. The goal, union, is also called yoga. So every chapter will refer to or will give us one more path to reach that Supreme. First chapter interestingly gives the path of sorrow. Why? Because that Arjuna's Vishad, that sorrow of Arjuna becomes the means for him to unite with God. Thank God for that sorrow. If that sorrow was not there, Arjuna would have never opened his mouth. We would not have got Bhagavad Gita. You see? So not only Arjuna got a path to reach Bhagavan, but we also got. Why? Because that sorrow was communicated to Bhagavan, not to somebody of the world. We keep crying about things to other people. Very interesting. We human beings know our what to say. Interesting creatures only. 5-6 people will be talking, and everybody is trying to prove that their sorrow is bigger than other person. What kind of competition are we doing? Isn't it fact? When you are telling some story, same thing happened with me. But nobody wants to know. Why are you telling? No, I suffered a lot. In sorrow also, there is joy. We find joy in sorrow also. That's why we watch movies also. Those crying type of movies. Emotional drama, etc. No. These ladies, etc. very dangerous. They go there and somebody in the movie is getting married and going to the husband's place. And all the mothers and sisters sitting in our home are crying for her. The actor, actress who is acting, she is not getting the tears. She puts glycerine. But you have real tears. And if you ask them, if you feel so much bad watching this, why are you watching? You know, na, marriage is fixed. Means you know this will happen. You should switch off the TV. Was born confusion about his duty. And he did not know what to do. Shall I fight? Shall I not fight? What should I do? So he asked Sri Krishna, what should I do? Please tell me very clearly one thing. Yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhi tanme. And I am asking as a disciple, not as your brother or your friend. So please, Shadi Mam, please teach me. And we see that Bhagavan Shri Krishna is not answering the question directly. He is not saying, Arjuna, fight. No need of Bhagavad Gita only. One word answer. That's why in the examination, it's very important that write 5 sentences, 10 sentences for 1 mark, 5 mark, 10 mark. Because according to how many marks, your length of the answer will vary, isn't it? If it is 1 mark answer, then you will write 1 word, over. Arjuna asked, what should I do? Shri Krishna answered, fight, over. But Shri Krishna realized that that is not the problem. That Dharma Sammoha is coming out of Shoka. And that Shoka is coming out of Mula Moha. Arjuna has forgotten who he is. And because of that ignorance of identity, this confusion of duty has arisen. So Bhagavan treats the root cause of the problem. Bhagavan gives self-knowledge to Arjuna. Why? First you understand who you are. That self-knowledge is called Sankhya. We saw word Sankhya also comes from Sankhya. And here Sankhya is not in the meaning of number, but Samyak Khyayate, that which is well explained. The Upanishads are called as Sankhya. So Sankhya is referring to the Upanishadic knowledge which Bhagavan Shri Krishna is giving here. And that's why at the end of every chapter we will see Upanishadsu. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that is okay, but Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishadsu means what? This is not some other knowledge which Shri Krishna is giving from somewhere else. It is the knowledge of the Upanishads only which he is giving again. So that Upanishad which speaks mainly, what is the main topic of Upanishads? The self-knowledge. That Bhagavan gives here in the 2nd chapter right at the beginning. From verse number 11 to 30. These 20 verses, gems. Highest self-knowledge is given right at the beginning. It's called, Bhagavan is in T20 mode. That's why 20 verses, you see. I am not just saying like that, you see. From first ball only sixer. He doesn't wait. Doesn't slowly build. No. He uses different technique. Let me give this. If he doesn't understand, I will come one step down. If he doesn't understand that, I will still come one step down. Let me follow this kind of methodology. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives that highest knowledge which we saw in the last session. He tells Arjuna who is he or who am I? What is the true nature of the self? Avinashitu tadvidhi. Understand that you are that self who doesn't die. There was no time when we were not there. There will not be any time when we will not be there. So we will always be there. Why? Because we are not this body. We are the self. The self doesn't kill. The self doesn't get killed. Who dies? The body dies. And you should not cry so much about body dying also. That also he explained. So from the highest standpoint that you are the self, and therefore there is no point in crying. Then he comes one step down and he says, even if you think you are Jiva, still you should not cry. Why? Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. You know that whoever is born will die. Whoever is dead will be born again. What is there? Why cry? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grindhati. When you give up the old cloth and take up the new cloth, do you cry? No, you don't cry. Comes one step still down and says, even if you think you are this body and the body is going to die, even then you should not cry. Why? Because for so many years the body did not exist. Now for little time body is existing. Again for so many years the body will not exist. So for this small time when it exists, what is so much to cry? Bubbles. Example is given in Vedanta of bubbles. From the water that bubble comes, and by the time you look at the bubble, bubble is gone. Do you cry? Bubble gone. Bubble only. What is so big about it? Therefore, Arjuna, don't cry. So from verses 11 to 30, this is the knowledge that Bhagavan Shri Krishna has given to Arjuna. Then from 31 to 37, next 7 verses, he gives the same thing from the standpoint of Dharma. That even for you as a warrior, you should not be crying. Why? Because you have got a great chance. In the first chapter, you said that we are going to go to hell. Even if we win, we will go to hell. Even if I die, I will go to hell. What is the point in fighting? I will tell you, it is exact opposite. If you fight and die, you will go to heaven. If you fight and win, you will experience the heaven here. Why? Because you are fighting from the stand of Dharma. Arjuna forgot that. Arjuna forgot that he is warrior, not somebody's grandson and somebody's disciple. So Arjuna, even from the standpoint of Dharma, you should not cry. Yadrichaya chopapannam, swargadwaram apavritam, sukhina kshatriya parthalabante yuddhamidrusham. Arjuna, only the chosen ones get this chance to fight for Dharma in such kind of battle. You have got that chance. Now is not the time to cry. So even from the standpoint of Dharma, you should not cry. So again and again Bhagavan says in second chapter, don't cry. Natvam shochitum arhasi, nahi vam shochitum arhasi. Again and again he says. And this is not just now. Till 18th chapter he will continue to say that only. Last verse also he will say that. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Don't cry. I tell you, the main message of Bhagavad Gita is this only. Don't cry. There is no reason to cry. And crying doesn't mean shedding tears, okay? Crying means complaining. Some people, they are so complaint box only. They are. So much complaints they have, their face also changes permanently. All the time complaints. What is there to cry so much? And some people think that in Vedanta, when you study Vedanta, you are supposed to become like this. Plain. Don't give any expression. Why? Vedanta. Vedanta tells you, you are Ananda Swarupa. One who has realized I am Ananda Swarupa will remain like this. How? Smile. Laugh. Don't cry. That is the main point. From different standpoints, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is going to tell this. That there is no need of crying, no need of complaining. Just do. So after telling Arjuna who he is, now Bhagavan says, Arjuna, your duty is in fighting. But let me tell you how you should fight. You asked me, what is Shreyas for me? Correct? I am telling you, fighting is right for you because that is your duty. That is another, some people know, they are very interesting. When they study Bhagavad Gita, they say Bhagavan Shri Krishna is instigating violence. One who decided not to fight, didn't take weapon in hand, is instigating violence. Why? Because he is telling again and again, Arjuna, therefore Arjuna, get up and fight, therefore Arjuna, get up and fight. See? What it means is, therefore Arjuna, get up and do your duty. That's what it means. Right now, Arjuna's duty is fighting. Therefore he is saying, get up and fight. Don't take it in a different way, okay? Otherwise they say, Bhagavad Gita is for us. That is correct. It is told to Arjuna, but it is for us. Correct. So, Bhagavan is telling us what? Get up and fight. Therefore, we should also fight. Come on. What it means is, get up and do your duty. That is what Shri Krishna is trying to tell. In addition to that, he says, let me tell you how you should do your duty. Now, this how is not in terms of steps. That pick up the bow, put the arrow, and then aim. That Arjuna knows. That Shri Krishna is not telling. How means what? With what kind of attitude you should fight. That attitude behind duty is called Karma Yoga. That is today's topic. Don't think I have gone somewhere, okay? I remember what is topic. So from verses 38 onwards, we will see up to verse number 52, 53, the topic in the second chapter itself. Though technically the third chapter's name is Karma Yoga, but majority of the portion is covered in the second chapter only. Therefore, we will be seeing both points from both second and third chapter related to this Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is what? The attitude behind the duty. In simple term. So Arjuna, you have to fight, that is your duty. Let me tell you what should be your attitude while fighting. And then if you fight like this, you will become ready for that Jnana, that final union, realizing your own self, you will become ready for that. And then you will become Jnani. And therefore last 18 verses, Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives Sthita Prajna Lakshan, which we will not be seeing because that's not the topic of Karma Yoga. Okay? But that is how the second chapter is moving. So 11 to 30, the Sankhya, the knowledge of Upanishads, the self-knowledge. 31 to 37, Dharma perspective. 38 to 53, Karma Yoga. And 54 to 72, last Arjuna's question and 18 verses of answer, Sthita Prajna Lakshan. That is how the second chapter is. Now, we are going to see this topic of Karma Yoga. Now, you see, though the word yoga comes many times in Bhagavad Gita, I have told you also, majority of the times the word is used in the meaning of Karma Yoga. Okay? So, Bhagavan may not mention every time that I am talking about Karma Yoga. He will just say yoga. We must understand he is talking about Karma Yoga only. We will see this not just second and third chapter, sixth chapter also, up to 18th chapter he will keep using this. Right. How does he start? What is this Karma Yoga? Now you see, yoga means path and yoga means union. Remember? And karma means what? Karma, action. So Karma Yoga means the path of action which will unite me with the Supreme. That is called Karma Yoga, the path of action. So action will be involved, or rather action will be the, the means, the path. But Karma Yoga is not a particular action. Please careful. Karma Yoga is path of action, but Karma Yoga doesn't refer to any particular action. Rather, it is the attitude behind every action. That's the difference between karma and Karma Yoga. The attitude is what Shri Krishna is talking about. What should be your attitude? He starts. Sukha dukkhe same krutva, labha labho jaya jayo, tato yuddhaya yujjasva, naivam papam avapsyasi. Esha te bhita sankhye buddhir yoge tu imam shunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karmabandham prasasi. It will come. Next verse. What is he saying? Arjuna, how should you fight? First in your mind, make equanimity. What is that? Sukha dukkhe same kritva. Be same in joy and sorrow. Labha alabha. If you gain or if you don't gain, be equal. Jaya ajaya. If you win or if you lose, same. Make it equal. Tato yuddhaya yujjasva. Then you start to fight. Then na evam papam avapsasi. Then you will not get sin. Arjuna was worried about sin. In the first chapter he was telling that, we are going to get sin, we will go to hell. That is what he is talking about. Bhagavan says, if you fight in this way, you will not gain sin. Now what is this? How can we make joy and sorrow same? We cannot make joy and sorrow same, but we can make ourselves same in joy and sorrow. You can't, joy and sorrow cannot be made same. Labha, alabha, jaya, ajaya, that cannot be made same. Same kritva means what? In your mind, don't change according to this. That when sukha comes, I am so happy, dukkha, so bad. Don't do that. Be equanimous. Joy comes, sorrow comes. Labha, alabha, you gained something, very good. You did not get something, very good. Let that intensity remain same. Not that, very good, now what to do. No, not like that. Jaya parajaya, jaya ajaya. Means what? You win or you lose. Be equanimous. This equanimity is one important component of Karma Yoga. It is called Samatva Buddhi. Samatva Buddhi, the attitude of equanimity. No, some people think that this attitude of equanimity is what they call as indifference. That the fellow is so insensitive that he doesn't care. It's not about not caring. It's not insensitive. It's not indifferent. But you take every result in your same stride and you go forward. You win, you win. You lose, you lose. Chalo, let us go forward. Let's not worry too much about it. That is what is called as equanimity, the attitude of equanimity. Samatva Buddhi. Now, how will we get this Samatva Buddhi? If I need to be same when I get joy or sorrow, I must think about how I have got that joy and sorrow. What led me to this result? If I am correct while performing the action, I will be correct while getting the result of action. Example I will give. Suppose there are some families and some children. They train them to come first in the school. Okay. So their goal is to come first in the school. So their preparation, exam studies, timetable, scheduling, food, sleep, everything is with that one goal. You have to come first in the school. You have to come first in the school. And every day they remind also, first. Now when my attitude while doing the karma, the action, is that I am doing it for this result, then I will be happy or sad based on what is the result. I did it to come first. If I come first, I am happy. If I don't come first, I am sad. But suppose my attitude while performing the action is, my job is to study. Forget about whether I come first or second or third, it doesn't matter. If that attitude is different, then the result will be different. Result will be different means my mind in the result will be different. Now don't think that if your attitude is different, you will get lesser result. That's another problem that people have. They say spirituality makes you lose all your ambitions. No. We are not saying you study less. We are not saying don't have high aim. That's not Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling. What Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling, aim high, but when you get that, don't be different in joy and sorrow. When you get the aim or when you don't get, don't be different. As Gurudev used to say, do your best and then leave the rest. We are not saying leave the rest. We are first saying do your best. While performing action, be perfect. As perfect as possible. And then when the result comes, no problem. So my attitude while facing the result will depend upon my attitude while performing the action. If my attitude while performing the action is correct, my attitude while facing the result also will be correct. Now, while facing the result, what should be my attitude? The attitude of equanimity, samatva. How will I gain it? Next, he explains, Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana bahushakhaha I anantascha buddhayah avyavasayinam. What should be your attitude? The attitude of conviction should be there. Vyavasayatmika, nishchaya rupa, determinate intellect. Buddhi. Means what? When you are performing that action, be clear why are you performing that action, for whom. The moment you get that clarity, the result will always be in your favor. Result will always be in your favor means not that you will get it, but you will be happy in both situations, whether you get it or you don't get it. That's what it means, in your favor. Why? Very famous shloka. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangha astu akarmani. This is again second chapter only, very famous shloka giving karma yoga. What does it say? Karmani eva adhikarahate. Oh my dear Arjuna, your right adhikara is in action alone. Phaleshu ma, not in the result. What do you mean? What is in our hand? The action, not the result. Please carefully think. Only a fool will say that the result is in my hand. Why? Because he has not experienced life. Life teaches us that even after doing everything correct, you never know what will happen. Yes or no? They say no in English, there is always a slip between the cup and nip. Cup and lip. So you have raised, by the time it comes here, you don't know when will it fall. We can never be sure about the result. We cannot. I'll give you one incident from my life. When I was studying engineering, in mathematics, I studied a lot. Mathematics 3, tough subject. And in mathematics, you all must be knowing that if your answer is correct, means your steps are correct. Otherwise, you won't come to correct answer. So I wrote the paper, and after the paper, they discuss, no, what is answer for this question, that question. So to my knowledge, to my calculation, I should get some 74, 73 marks I should get. I got 40 marks. And I am thinking, how did this happen? I wrote for 80 marks. I know one or two mistakes I have done. I should get, it's mathematics paper. They can't cut the marks based on your handwriting. At least not in engineering, mathematics, they don't care about handwriting as long as they know. And my handwriting is good. No, I'm not saying like that, but I'm saying that there is no way I will get 40. So I was shocked. But my bigger shock was in another paper, where I wrote only of 55 marks and I got 70 marks. I said, that is bigger shock. Why? If I have not written only, how will I get? Okay, I wrote and the answer was not correct. Lesser marks is possible. More marks, how is it possible? Then I understood this point. What? Your right is in writing paper. How the result will come is not in your hand. It is in whose hand? It is in the hand of paper checker's wife. If the wife is scolding the paper checker, he is going to cut your marks. If the wife has made nice tea and given him, he is going to give marks. It is as simple as this. It is not in our hand. No result is in our hand. You Bangalore people, you drive. Driving is in your hand. You will reach the destination. Is it in your hand? Unfortunately, no. Why? Because it depends on so many other factors. How much of traffic I am going to get, and some idiot fellow will put like this and then everybody is stopped for 20 minutes. You would never know. Karma I can insist upon. Result I cannot. Now when you cannot be sure about the result, why are you emphasizing so much about the result? Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kada. Ma karma phala heturbu. Bhagavan says, don't become a person for whom the result of action is the purpose of action. What a brilliant thing to say. He is saying, careful. Many times people think that, this is a very dry philosophy, wrong philosophy. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling, act, but don't expect the result. That is not what he is saying. See, some people know that translate this karmanyevadikaraste in a wrong way. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana means you act, but don't, don't expect the result. Without expecting the result, a fool also will not act. It is like saying, you come and work for my company, but don't expect salary. Then why will I work? Prayojanam anuddishyana mandopi pravartati is said in the scriptures. Bhagavan is not saying that you act and don't expect the result. He is telling the result of action should not be your motive of action. You should not be studying to come first in the exam. You should be studying because it is your duty. You understand the difference? Both people are studying, but the attitude is very different. I am studying because it is my duty to study. Why do I need any other result in front of me? I am doing job in a company because it is my duty. They are giving me salary. It is my duty to do the job. So though the word right, adhikara, is mentioned here, he is actually talking about duty. What Bhagavan Shri Krishna is suggesting is, don't fight for rights. Focus on your duty. I tell you, in today's world, this is the most important teaching. Why? Every single person is fighting for rights. Government should do this. What kind of useless government we have? Our chief minister is like this, our prime minister is like this. US people are crying, our president is like this. One question. Did you vote? Simple question. I was busy. Then don't talk. Especially those people who are not in India, staying outside, should not talk about politics of India. Why? Your duty is where? In that country. Then your right is where? In that country. Don't fight here. Very simple logic. Only when I do my duty properly, I am eligible to talk about my right. Actually speaking, if everybody does their duty properly, nobody has to talk about anybody's rights. Why? Because my duty is somebody's right. And somebody's duty is my right. So if we focus on our duty, we don't have to worry about the result. Rights, we don't have to worry. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling, focus on your duty, Arjuna. The result of action cannot be your motive of action. That cannot be the purpose. They always say, in sports, Sports is for entertainment. So you play to enjoy, not to win. I am not saying don't put efforts to win. That's not what I am saying. Put all your efforts to win, but don't insist on result. This word insist is very important. Shri Krishna is not saying don't expect the result. Shri Krishna is saying don't insist on the result. Why? Because result is not in your hand. You can't insist. Something that is not in your hand, how can you insist? What is in your hand? Your job, your duty. Insist on that. Focus on that. Ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangah astu akarmani. And don't sit back and say I will not act also. That is also not right. A karma is also not going to work. So what should I do? Yogastha kuru karmani. Karmani kuru, you do your duties. Niyatam kuru karmatvam will come in 3rd chapter. You do your duty. How? Yogastha. Being established in this kind of attitude, perform your duty. Means being very clear that I am not doing it for the result, I am doing it for the sake of duty. Whatever I get the result, I will accept it happily. Vyavasayatmika buddhi, while performing the action, samatva buddhi, while experiencing the result of action, together is called karma yoga. Are you getting? Vyavasayatmika buddhi means what? Single pointed, determinate action. No confusion about result or I am just doing my duty. Not thinking about the result, etc. What Bhagavan is telling, while performing the action, don't have result in your mind. Many times what happens, that result only puts pressure on us. Isn't it? What if I fail? Don't worry about that. Now worry about how you should act. What you should do now. That's why these sports people, etc., they will always say, when it is too difficult to chase cricket, suppose you have to chase lot of runs in very less balls, they will say, we don't look at the scoreboard only. Why? Because whatever said and done, I have to face the next ball. I can't say what is going to happen after 50 overs. Forget about that. If I face the next ball correctly, then the next ball correctly, then the next ball correctly, the result will automatically be taken care of. You don't have to worry about it. In management terms, they say, work on your process and the result will follow. Don't they say like this? Process is more important than the result. Why? Because that is the only thing in your hand. So karma yoga is vyavasayatmika buddhi, clear, determinate mind while performing the action, and equanimous mind while taking the result of the action. In other terms, vyavasayatmika buddhi is called Ishwararpana buddhi. You do your duty as a dedication unto God. In the 3rd chapter, he will mention this, Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. All other kinds of actions are binding in nature, except those actions which you dedicate to God. Yajna. Yajna here means God. Yajno vai Vishnu. So except the actions which you have performed for God, all other actions are going to bind you. Why you should do this karma yoga? Because karma yoga will give you a way by which you will act, but you will not be caught in the cycle of karma, in the bondage of karma. Now little bit this karma bandha we must understand. 2nd chapter also we saw Eshatya Bheta Sankhya Buddhi Yoge Tuma Imam Shrunu Buddhya Yukto Yaya Partha Karma Bandham Prasyasi. One who is associated with this karma yoga will not be bound by karma bandhana. What is this karma bandhana? Any action gives two kinds of result. Carefully see now. Carefully for some time pay attention. Any action will give two kinds of result. One is called as result of action in terms of punya and papa. And another is called as vasana, the impression that is born from that karma. Let me explain. If I have performed the action correctly in dharmic way, then it will create punya. And if I have enjoyed that action, it will create a good vasana also. Vasana means impression of action. Impression. Impressions are born from action, or rather our response to the action. Say for example, I have come first time to Bangalore and somebody says, you must go to this place. It has very good ice cream. I am giving you example. Now, do I have any vasana for that place's ice cream? Not yet. I have not tasted. In general, I may like ice cream, but that place, how that ice cream is, I don't know. So when I go first time, because somebody has told me, and I take first bite of that ice cream and I say, this is so good. Now this is so good is vasana. Okay? Now in case I don't have money to pay for the ice cream, therefore I look around and quietly vasana is created that it is good, but the karma is wrong. The result of action is papa. But if I pay correctly and no problem, no papa. If while paying I give some tip, punya. You understand? So karma is creating result as punya and papa based on what kind of karma I have performed, with what attitude and with what way, intention, etc. But it also creates another kind of result which is called vasana. Now let us focus on punya papa first. Karma creates punya papa, either punya or papa. Now that punya or papa I only have to face because I have done karma. So that punya will come in my life as sukha. Papa will come back in my life as dukkha. When I face sukha or dukkha, I perform more actions, which will again create either punya or papa, which will again result in sukha or dukkha. While experiencing sukha or dukkha, I will further create action, again punya papa, sukha dukkha, and it is unending. You understand? This is one cycle of karma bandha, which is called. Now another side also there is another bandhan. What? That karma has created vasana. Either good vasana or bad vasana. See, not necessarily I will go to that ice cream parlor and I will like the ice cream. Not necessarily. If I like ice cream, I will say, very good. If I don't like ice cream, I will say, nah. Both reactions will create vasana. You see, good vasana or bad vasana, but both are creating vasana. Now that vasana will force me to act, because next time I am passing from that ice cream parlor, desire will come. Last time I had here, it was good. I want. Then what? Slowly while my mind will start to think, but I am now going with some devotees. How can I say that, you can't, Brahmachari Swami wants to eat ice cream, not good. So what should I say? So I start thinking. Actually, I feel like I have tonsils problem. Why? That is the only time they give ice cream to you, Isn't it after tonsils? You don't remember? In childhood, I prayed so many times to God that I want to have tonsils. He never gave me tonsils. I used to feel so envious. We go to meet my friends, just completed tonsils operation. And they will be there, 5-6 ice creams in front, and I am like, what luck. So then what? The moment that vasana, desire is there, I want, your thoughts will start to process. How should I get it? How should I get it? They will force us into action. We will actually go there again, eat that ice cream. Again when we eat, I say, heaven. The previous vasana is strengthened. Now, even when you are not going by that road, the desire will take you through that road. Even if you are shifted to some other place, you will come all the way to eat that ice cream. You see how karma bandha is? So whether I do right action or wrong action, whether it creates punya or papa, it binds. Whether I like that action or I don't like, whatever kind of vasana, it still binds. Is there a way by which I will perform action, but it will neither create punya papa, nor will it create vasana? Is there a way? Yes. That way is called karma yoga. Vedji, how? Let me explain. Scenario 2. What? You don't like ice cream. Okay. Your mother has told you to get ice cream. Okay. Now you go there. She told, go to this shop, get this ice cream. You go there, you see that the shop is closed. What happens? Nothing. You come back and you say, Amma, shop was closed. Now remember, if you wanted the ice cream and you went to the shop to eat ice cream, when the shop is closed, you will say, Arey, shop is closed. Then what? Is there another shop? You understand? But the moment your action is dedicated to mother, you are not going there to eat ice cream. You are going because mother has told. So whatever is result, you are equanimous. You don't care whether the shop is open or not. Why? You don't want to eat. Dedication works like this. If my action, my duty is dedicated to someone else, then I don't care about the result of that action. Why? Because at that very moment I have acted, I get purity of mind out of it. I am happy that I did my job. My mother told, go and get ice cream. I went there. Now shop was closed is not in my hand. Karmanneva adhikaraste ma phaleshu. So that is not in my hand. But I did my job. I am happy. You understand how it works? That's why in second chapter it said, Neha bhikrama nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Here in this karma yoga, abhikrama nasha is not there. Abhikrama nasha means what? When you start some action, that action will give result only when you complete the action. If you leave the action in between, result you will not get. Okay, another example. Suppose you are counting notes. Please remember all these examples, okay? Next generation will not know this. That you have to go to the bank and they will give bundle of 100 notes and then you have to count. Nothing. Digital, everything is becoming. No need of counting. But remember the time when we used to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And very good. Banks are very good. Why? Because you will not put your saliva there. They will give you one sponge with water. Dip it there and tang, 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 tang. Now suppose I am counting 100 notes. I reach 94 and I say, if so far it was correct, other next 6 also must be correct. And I stop. Will I get the result? No. Why? Because you will know whether there are 100 notes or not only when you complete the action. Up to 94, correct counting. So remaining must be correct. Complete it. See if there are 6 remaining or 5. If 5 are there, that means 1 is missing. Then count again. In every action, the result comes when you complete the action. In Karma Yoga, it doesn't matter. Why? Whatever you have performed, the result is immediate. Example, you are counting the notes, but not to check whether there are 100 notes or not, but because somebody else has told you to count. Now you reach 94 and the person says, no need to count. You keep the bundle, you go, done. You don't care. You see? Why? Because action is not for me. Action is dedicated to that person. Iha abhikramanashah na asti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. There is no fault of non-performance. You went there and you did not get ice cream. Not my fault. I went. I did my job. Karma Yoga is great because you will perform karma, but you will not be bound by that karma. Are you getting? Punya and Papa will come as a result of karma when we perform based on our desire. When I am doing my duty and offering it to God, there is no punya, no papa. What is the result of that karma then? The result is chitta shuddhi, purity of mind, which is instantaneous. The moment I have performed karma yoga, the result is in my hand. I don't have to wait for punya and papa to become sukha and dukkha and come to me later. I don't have to do that. I perform the action with dedication to God. That very moment my mind gets purified. Result is there. Punya papa is not arising. Sukha dukkha will not be there, and I don't care about the rest of the things. You see? Why? I didn't perform for myself. I did for Him. Now remember, when I am performing the action for God, when I get the result, what will I say? His wish. Why? I did not perform to win. I did not perform the action to get the result. I did it for Him. So whatever I get as result, I accept joyfully as Bhagavan's prasad. So this vyavasayatmika buddhi and samatva buddhi, in other terms, is called Ishwararpana buddhi and prasada buddhi. Ishwararpana buddhi, while performing the action, you are doing the duty and offering to God. While getting the result, you are accepting everything as His prasada. See, prasada, when you go to get prasada, you don't say, no, I don't want this prasada, I want that prasada. Nowadays, you can't say like that also. The people do say like that. There was a good time, few years back, when nothing like this was happening. Whatever prasada is there, you take. And whatever that person is giving, that much you will take. You can't say, this is very good, give me more. No. Or this is not good, you have to eat. Why? That's the thing of prasada. Whatever, however, whenever, you have to eat. So while performing the action, Ishwararpana buddhi, while getting the result of action, prasada buddhi. If this is our attitude, then that karma becomes karma yoga. Are you understanding? If we perform this karma yoga, then we will not be bound by action. What do you mean by bound by action? That karma bandhana, papa punya, sukha dukkha, karma, or vasana, then desire, then action, thought, action, then again vasana, that karma bandha will not be there. This is what Gurudev will explain. Old vasanas are exhausted and no new vasana is created. Those who have read Kindle Life, Self-Unfoldment, he will say all these things. So not only papa punya, merit and demerit, but even the vasana of merit and demerit also will go away. Why? Because you are not doing it for yourself, you are doing it for God. Dedication is most important here. what dedication I am talking about? Not that dedication means I am dedicated, focus. Not that. Dedication means dedicating the action to God. That I am doing it for God. That dedication is most important. Why? That changes the whole scenario. I am not performing action for myself. I am performing it for God. Are you understanding? This is the essence of Karma Yoga. Now, this Karma Yoga only is explained in many, many ways. In the second and third chapter, which we have lot of verses talking about it. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajjayo hi akarmanaha. That this duty you must perform. Why? It's better than not doing anything. Why? Even to sustain your body, you have to act. Now, when you have to act wisely. Act with the right attitude. What is the right attitude? Yajna arthat karmanaha. Do it for God. So basically what Sri Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna, Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, your duty is in fighting. Don't fight to win. Fight as your sadhana. Fight because it is your duty and offer that duty to me. Then you will not be bound by that action. Right now you are thinking that this action is very terrible action. Tatkim karmani ghoremam. Third chapter begins only with this kind of question of Arjuna. Jayasi chet karmanastet mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghoremam niyojayasi kesha. Bhagavan, if you think that knowledge is higher than karma, action, why are you putting me into action? And what kind of action? Ghora karma. This is the action where I have to kill people. Why are you putting me into this action? Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tad ekam vada nishchitya yena shreya aham apnuyam. Bhagavan, you are confusing me. Why? Because you are telling, sometimes you are saying great things about knowledge, sometimes you are telling great things about action. Your words are confusing me. Therefore, tell me one thing. Why this question of Arjuna comes is because if you read the entire second chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, highest what any human being can achieve is that union with the self. To realize my own true nature is the highest. Therefore, Arjuna, fight. Suppose you go to a shop and you ask, do you have soap? Yes. This is the best soap. Therefore, you take the other one. If that is the best, then I want that. If knowledge is what is going to liberate me, why are you putting me into action? See, Arjuna's question is right. Bhagavan says, because your eligibility right now is in karma only. You may say that this soap is best, but looking at your entire attire, I know that you can't afford this. Therefore, the shopkeeper, very wise, says you take this. Bhagavan says, Jnana is best, agreed. But you don't have eligibility in that knowledge yet. How will I become eligible? Do your duty. Perform karma yoga because that will make you eligible for the self-knowledge. So, karma yoga he is giving as means for self-knowledge. We must never forget this point that Bhagavan Shri Krishna is trying to explain. That's why he says, Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta janardana. Lokesmin dvividha nishtha, he says. Pura prokta mayanag. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Arjuna, it may appear to you right now that there is one path which leads to knowledge and another path that takes you to karma action. You may think right now that I am telling you that knowledge is best, but you should act. But Arjuna, it is not like that. Nishtha is only one. What do you mean? There is only one path. You start with karma, practice karma yoga, become eligible for self-knowledge, gain self-knowledge, become liberated. These are all the steps on the same path. I am not asking you to choose between karma and jnana. I am not asking you to choose. I am saying do karma yoga because that will prepare you for jnana. So it is the same path. It is example. Now in between it goes. If you touch that, then it will go. Don't touch now. Let it be. Some loose connection. See, suppose you ask me, if I want to become doctor, MBBS doctor, what should I do? What should I do? Veggie, you don't know this much? Okay, right. You are engineer, no? Fine, you may not know. Let me tell you what. You must apply for medical entrance exam. Okay? Medical entrance exam will give me admission into medical college. That will make me eligible to become doctor. Correct. But if I am in 9th standard, what should I do? First pass 9th standard, give 10th standard exam, 11th, 12th, then give entrance. If somebody says, no, but medical is best, why are you telling me to give 10th standard? Hey, these are not two different things. 10th standard exam will make you eligible for 12th. 12th will make you eligible for entrance. Entrance will make you eligible for MBBS. MBBS will make you eligible for doctor. You understand? These are not different paths. Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga are not two different paths. They are the same path, two different, what you can say as milestones. So Karma Yoga is what we start with. Sankhya is where we end. So do Karma Yoga as means to reach Sankhya. Bhagavan Shri Krishna actually in the 7th chapter, in the 3rd chapter, gives 7 reasons why Arjuna should perform Karma Yoga. Very interesting. So, first reason he gives is because it will prepare you for that highest self-knowledge, therefore you do. Second reason he gives, because the Creator has told you to do, therefore do. Very famous shlokas, all these are. That the Creator Brahmaji, while creating human beings, also created Yajna. And that Creator ordained, that Creator told, what? That you should gain anything that you want by performing this Yajna. What is that Yajna? That Yajna is Karma Yoga. Gurudev's interpretation of Yajna was like that only. Selfless cooperative endeavor. That is how he explained Yajna. Generally, when the word Yajna is said, we immediately think about there is some fire ritual and somebody is offering some ahutis. No. Yajna means where everybody comes together to achieve something greater with selfless motive, with the attitude of dedication. That's called Karma Yoga. So second reason Shri Krishna gives is, Arjuna, because Brahmaji has told you. In Bangalore also very important. Brahmaji has told. You have to, you can't argue. You don't have to also, best. Nah? Sometimes life becomes very easy like this. Why am I doing? He told. Good enough reason. So here also Shri Krishna says, that Creator Brahmaji himself told, after creating human being, you do Yajna, you do Karma Yoga, therefore Arjuna you do. Third reason he gives is because there is a cosmic wheel of action which is there in motion. Means your performance of duty and your karma yoga is linked with everything else. If you don't do your job properly, the entire wheel will be broken. Isn't it true about everything that we do? Especially when there are siblings, no? In the same family, if there are two brother, sister or some like that, then they divide the work. So when everybody is supposed to eat, bringing the food is one brother's job. Taking the food is another brother's job. Correct or no? I will only put the mattress. To put the sheet is other person's job. Now imagine if I don't do my job, how will that fellow do his job? If I did not bring the food, how will he take it back? If I did not put the mattress, he will put cover on what? So though you may say my duty is different, his duty is different, but your duties are connected. Unless you perform your duty properly, the rest of the things will not happen correctly. Correct or no? And therefore, Arjuna, you performing karma yoga is not independent, but rather everyone's duty is dependent on you. He explains Annad Bhavanti Bhutani Parjanyad Anna Sambhavaha. The entire cosmic wheel he explains. And he says, Yajne, Nityam Yajne, that everything depends on you, your Yajna. Devatas will do their job, but you have to do your job. Therefore, Arjuna, do Karma Yoga. Fourth reason, very interesting reason he gives. He says there is only one category which may not perform Karma Yoga. Who is that category? That category of Atmadhyanis. Yahatu Atmaratireva syat, Atmatruptasya manavaha, Atmaneva cha santushtaha, tasya karyam na vidyate. Naiva tasya kritenartha, na akriteneha kasyana, na chasya sarvabhuteshu kaschidartha vyapashraya. Oh Arjuna, there is one category of jnanis where I will not tell them to do karma yoga. They need not do. But you don't belong to that category. What an insult. Means, what are you trying to say? Those who have already become doctor don't have to give entrance examination to MBBS. Correct or not? That is not an insult of those people who are giving entrance. Bhagavan is only telling, if you reach the goal, then path is not required for you. If you have not reached, you have to follow the path. Bhagavan says, you have not yet become Atmadhyani, therefore perform Karma Yoga. This is the fourth reason he gives. Fifth reason he says, just Loka Sangraham evartham sampashyan kartum arhasi. Look around. What do you mean look around? You should perform your duties because majority of the people need to do that. You need to bring people together. That will happen only when you perform. Karmanaiva sansiddhim astita janakadaya loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. You see Janakadi, all these great people, by performing duty only they have reached the supreme goal. You also should do, Arjuna. Fifth reason. Sixth reason he gives, Shishtachara. He says, because you are an important person in the society. If you will perform, there are so many people looking up to you, they will also perform. This is what he says, Yadyadacharati Shrestha Tattadeva Itaraha Janaha Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokastad Anuvartate. You all are from that generation when Amitabh Bachchan wore bell bottom, you all wore bell bottom. Yes or no? Today you may come with very good kurta, etc. That is okay. Why? Shrestha. When somebody whom we look up to does something, everybody follows. Now Arjuna, if you don't fight, you run away, what will the majority do? They will also not do their duty. I'll give you another example. Sometimes for these children, when small children are in the house, you have to do certain things in all the steps because they are going to imitate you. Therefore, though now you are grown up and you can eat the entire chapati in 3 morsels only, you can just, but no, because you have to teach them, you will make small pieces of that chapati. Why? Because looking at you, that child also will do. Then you will take one, and you will put in sabji and dal, and then you will eat. This is not for you, but there are people who are looking up to you. For them, you perform karma yoga. 7th reason is the ultimate reason. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Arjuna, you do it because I am doing it. What do you mean? I am God of all 3 worlds. I don't have to do karma yoga. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Na anavaptam avaptavyam. There is nothing that I don't have which I must gain and therefore I have to do karma. I have nothing like that is there. Varte evacha karmani. Even then I continue to act. Why? Because if I don't, nobody will. A very simple logic. The boss of the company has set all the rules. Correct or no? Chairman, managing director of the company has decided that everybody should come at 9 o'clock. Everybody should work till 5 o'clock. All the rules. Do you think that MD of the company needs to follow those rules? Anybody is going to ask him? No. But still that fellow will come at 9 o'clock. Why? Because he knows if I don't come at 9, nobody will come at 9. He has made the rules. He doesn't have to follow. Still he will follow. Same way, Arjuna, I have made all the rules. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling, God, but still I do karma and I do it as karma yoga. Why? So that people will follow. Therefore, Arjuna, you must perform karma yoga. Now, this is something, it looks like, if you study entire Bhagavad Gita, it looks like Bhagavan is caught up in a loop. After everything, he will come back and say, therefore Arjuna, do karma yoga. It doesn't end with 3rd chapter. You will see karma, jnana karma sannyasa, dhyana yoga also. He will say meditate. Greatest thing is to meditate and how to meditate. And then he will say at the end, therefore Arjuna, do karma yoga. Why? Bhagavan Shri Krishna is showing the entire path. But one should not forget what is the next step. In the path, the entire thing will be shown. Like you have Google Map. You want to go to some place, you will put Google Map. And that Google Map will show. You go out, take right, then highway will come, and take left, and go for 3 kilometers. Then there will be one big circle. Go around the circle and take the 3rd exit. All that it will show. But after understanding the entire path, which turn I have to take? The first one. In the mind, I have tracked the entire path. But physically, I am still here only. So Bhagavan will show what is the Sankhya Buddhi, then Dhyana, before that Karma Sannyasa, Jnana Karma. He will show everything. But what is the next thing that I have to do? Karma Yoga. That is what I must be doing. Very important thing here that we must understand is Arjunam Nimitti Kritya. This instruction is for all of us. Every single person who is studying Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is giving the same instruction. Do karma yoga, full stop. Don't ask how long. Swamiji, I am working in this Chinmay Mission Center and they have given some seva to me. How long should I do? There is no question how long. You do. Why? Because when you will be ready for something else, that karma will drop. We don't have to drop karma. See, we human beings are like that only, no? Before we take up anything, we want to know, when can I drop this? Suppose I tell you, hold this bottle. Till when? First question will be till when. Why? Because we are more interested in dropping. Sri Krishna says, you cannot drop karma. When you are ready for something higher, karma will drop you. Don't worry. Till that time, do karma yoga. And what is this karma yoga that we are talking about? Vyavasayatmika buddhi, samatva buddhi. Ishwararpana buddhi, prasada buddhi. While performing the action, I am performing the duty as dedicated to God. While getting the result, I am accepting everything as prasada. This is how he concludes the entire karma yoga concept in the 30th verse of the 3rd chapter. Very important verse. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashihi nirmamu bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvara. Arjuna, mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Renounce all your actions in me, means dedicate all actions in me. Adhyatma chetasa, be adhyatmic person, be spiritual minded, means don't worry or don't insist on the result. Don't be worldly, be spiritual. Adhyatma chetasa. And you act. How you should act? Nirashihi, without any asha, expectation of future. Nirmamaha, without any ego or arrogance, means what you have done in the past. Vigatajvaraha, and without any excitement in the present. This is how Gurudev will explain that while performing the action, we should avoid 3 leakages that drain our energy. What are those 3 leakages? Worry of the future, memory of the past, and excitement in the present. This is literal translation of this verse. Nirashihi nirmamaha yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. Arjuna, you act in this way. Don't worry about the future. Don't bring the past into your mind when you are performing the action. Forget about that. Don't be too excited in the present also. Just do your duty. Do your duty as dedication unto me, and you will not be bound by that karma. This is what Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna. He also explains what will you gain by this? What is the result of this karma yoga? That also he explains. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishena janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchanti anamaya. Tasmad asaktas satatam karyam karma sarachara. Karyam karma samachara. Asakto hi acharan karma paramapnoti purusha. By doing this itself, you will gain the supreme. Tomorrow, when the topic of Jnana Yoga comes, we will understand how these paths, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, how they are not, taking us to different goals. We will understand that tomorrow. But please remember at this moment, any path that Bhagavan Sri Krishna is talking about will only start at different places. All the paths are ending at the same place. So which path should I take depends on where I am, not depending on where I have to reach. Why? Because all of us have to reach the same place. Destination is same. Which path I should take depends on where I am. And majority of us are at this juncture where Karma Yoga is the path for us. Unless the Guru tells you, don't give up Karma Yoga. Okay? Gurudev, our Guru, never gave up Karma Yoga. Even after realization, he continued to do Karma Yoga. Why? God himself is doing. Why will Jnanis not do? So we should not even think about it. Why? We have not reached that state, no? So our job is to do Karma Yoga. Do your duty, offer it to God. This is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.